ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Up the U's, the channel dedicated to my love and hopefully your love, all things Colchester United. We are here today at the annual Open Day. Unfortunately, a little bit of a wet one this year, but that's not going to dampen the spirits. We're going to take you around, hopefully meet some of the players, maybe chat with Danny and Nicky, and just give you a look around at what Colchester put on their annual Open Day. As the players were coming off the pitch, I was lucky enough to catch Nicky Cowley and have a quick chat with him. So last season we saw you adopt a bit more of a higher approach.
Yes.
Was that because you was getting too many bookings, or was it sort of more of a tactical sort of?
Yeah, I think the main reason is over the recent period the rules have actually changed where only one person's allowed to stand forward from the technical area. So in the old days, you know, Danny and I would be allowed to stand side by side and have our discussions and conversations. So I think that when only one person's allowed forward, at a lot of stadiums the technical area is quite tight, and when you go back into the dugout you don't actually get a very good view. And also you can't really communicate with the players from that position. So it just made sense really for us to then use the rule change to our maximum advantage, and yeah, that's why I guess I took the higher vantage point so I could kind of see the whole picture, see the whole pitch, and then obviously I'm still in communication with Danny over the phone. So
yeah, I sit over in the south stand, so I do see you sort of on the phone quite a lot.
Yeah.
I imagine here it's a bit chilly up there.
It can be, yeah, it can be.
Especially on them cold Tuesday nights.
Yes, absolutely. But no, it is very helpful from a tactical perspective and also communication-wise. So
I suppose it gives you another overlook on the game from a higher vantage point.
Yeah, I think we've benefited from it quite a lot. So it will be something that we keep going with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Of all the grounds that you went to last year, taking that higher point, what one was the one where you sort of stood there and was like, this is a decent view?
I think they're all different, and that's what makes English football so fascinating, particularly in League Two, because sometimes you can go to some stadiums where they're quite tight and there's not a lot of room, and other times you can go to other stadiums that are much bigger and you get more space. So for example, you go from an MK Dons where you've got like an incredible view and not lots of spectators around you, so it's quite easy to communicate. But if you was to go somewhere like Bradford, it can be very busy, very congested. That can make communication a little bit more challenging because the supporters are so close to you. And then you can go to the other stadiums like your Harrogates and your Bromleys and your Cheltenhams where everything feels a lot more closer and it's a bit lower and a lot tighter as well. So that's what's so enjoyable really, is to go to all the different stadiums and get the different experiences, I guess.
Awesome.
So I'm joined here by John, who is part of the BWA. We're just having a little chat about what it is that they do and how it all started really. So yeah, over to you, John.
So the original group was founded by a guy called Lee, who some people will be familiar with, some people won't, and that was in 2006 sort of time, so when we were at Lair Road. So that was the first sort of incarnation of the group, and sort of we carried that on until we moved into this stadium, and we sort of kept it going, probably primarily myself, but 2019 we had the Lincoln MK game, we had some other lads get involved, and obviously more recently we've had some more, and then George has come on board in the last 2 or 3 years and really driven the group, so we've relaunched, kept the original name. There aren't many TIFO groups that have been going for 20 odd years, so I'd say we're one of the oldest, and we've obviously got the Homesdale Fanatics, Palace, Aberdeen, if you go to Scotland, most of their groups are still going. So yeah, obviously it's been quite successful, we think.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of the things, like, obviously it started with just sort of a few flags in the south stand, and now you sort of look around all of the designs that are around the stand and stuff like that. What does it mean to you when you sort of see how it went from being just a couple of flags dotted around to what it is like on match day?
So I'll be honest, like 2 years ago, I'm going to probably wind it all up, leave the flags here and just let people help themselves, and then George got in contact and we just had this vision of what we wanted to do and sort of roll with the punches, see how we go. And we've gone better than we thought it would. Obviously we're in every stand now, we chop and change. We know it isn't for everyone, so we're trying to be responsive to that. It's hard because there's a lot of time involved, and sometimes you do default to more of a basic setup where you just sit flags around. But I mean, when you've seen the big games and the flags in every stand, and you know you've got the ones at the front of the stand, you've got the kids on the pitch, you know, the interaction between, you know, your kids in the east stand or whatever stand they're in, the older fans, everyone's getting involved, and I think hopefully United fan base, I've always felt has the potential. You know, I know English, British fans were a bit sceptical of this type of sport, but it's better than sitting silent, isn't it? And let's be honest, you go and watch League 1, League 2 football, it isn't always the greatest, so you can come away and you've had a good day, you know, albeit waving a flag.
Yeah, definitely.
Makes it better.
Yeah, no, like I say, the work that yourself and the whole BWO have done is fantastic. Like I say, just from being a few little flags to then the murals within the south stand and everything that's about it is absolutely incredible, because it is something that, like myself, just sort of sat there and thought, I want to start doing this thing for the club I love, and it has just gone on leaps and bounds. What is the sort of next step for the BWA? Is there something you want to get as a sort of target?
Well, depends what we're going to disclose and what we're not going to disclose. Not that secret. So for the current season, we're scaling back a bit. We know we do listen what's out there. We don't want it all to be the same. Scaling back also means when we do in a big display, it has more impact. So one thing we're going to look at doing more so is having sort of different size waiver flags into F1, which you'll see in more grounds like European continent. They'll have more concentration and they'll focus more on one area, so we're going to revert to that. Part of the reason for that was the amount of time it took after the game to set down. We need more volunteers. If you want it to happen all around the ground, we have to have volunteers. We get too many flags left in the stands, and it's just time. Unfortunately, like everyone, we're busy as well. But in terms of things to look forward to, I don't know if we're releasing this or not.
Sorry guys, you're going to have to wait till the start of the season to see this surprise.
Time fiction. George's design, which has changed about 1 million times. Whilst I'm on George, like the stuff you're seeing, the designs you're seeing around the ground, is George. A lot of it, you know, without him, we wouldn't be where we are. And it's a bit modest, to say the least.
Like I say, the credit to them, the designs that go around there are incredible. They're not just your generic sort of blue and white stripes with an eagle on the front. They are very sought after, and it is exactly what the club is. So if you said you need more volunteers, where can people go to become a volunteer?
If you want to find out more about us, go to our website, bluewhitearmy1937.com. I think that's right. Should know. And there's all our information, what we're about, what we do, how to donate, shop via our store. You can get in contact with us as a WhatsApp group. I think you're in it.
I think so.
So you can just chat with us, or just come see us on a match day and ask, you know, whether it's someone coming before a match, coming to help us on days like this, after a match, just bring flags down to the front. It makes a huge difference from what we can do, and that's how we scale up ultimately. And our USP has always been since we relaunched anyway, to get everyone involved. Everyone's part of it, and that whether you want to do it or not, that's fine. But you know, that's hopefully how we're getting a good reputation as a fan base, which is the most important thing. Let's be honest, sometimes the football on the pitch hasn't been great.
Yes, definitely. I think back to the Bradford at home where it was a very slog of a game, and then McDonald gets it in the last minute and it made it feel like a win.
Yeah,
so it's games like that where the club comes together.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've lacked that. I think fan base has been lacked that togetherness, loyal on the pitch, off the pitch, whatever you want to call it. Winning helps.
Yes,
we can't shy away from that. But I think it's both starting to feel a bit more like mine.
Yeah, I'll admit, the move when we came here, it did feel a little bit strange to play over at home, but I have now started to say to people that the stadium is now starting to feel like home.
Yeah.
Big credit again for the work that you do on and off the pitch.
That's all we try and do. This is what people are saying, doing, what's important. You look at all the designs, every single one have a cultural connection to gorillas, the town, on top of the flag, probably not here typically. But everything we're trying to do, captain, you've got the vinyl, sorry, not mural, that's got jumbo or parcel, etc. on it, so that's what we want to do, make everyone proud of being from Colchester. Hopefully it's rubbing off because the crowds are up.
Yeah, the crowds are getting bigger, the players are getting bigger, the youth are getting bigger.
Yeah.
For you, predictions for this season, what are you feeling?
I think we need more.
Yeah.
Going to be honest about it. But the management team are probably up there with the best in the league. So let's go 10th to 12th at the moment, but 2 or 3 times away from maybe pushing the playoff.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, good luck with the rest of the season.
Cheers, thanks.
And then to round off the day, I was lucky enough to sit down with Danny Cowley himself and chat about what the open day means to him and to the club. So, joined by the Colchester United head coach, Danny Cowley. Danny, a day like today, having all of the fans here, all of the family, what does that mean for you, for the club, for everyone?
Yeah, I just think it's a brilliant day for everybody associated with Colchester United Football Club. We're so appreciative to all the staff that work behind the scenes. You know, these days don't just happen. For Tim and his teams, you know, they've just done a brilliant job in terms of organisation. It hasn't been straightforward because the weather, which has been incredible up until this weekend, has probably let us down. But regardless, we're just amazed by the amount of people that come to the day. I think we coach over 250 kids with the players on the AstroTurf pitches outside, and just to feel the energy and the enthusiasm for Colchester United, but also the community, I think it's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's obviously, like you said, it's all the kids that you saw that was out there, and it's over 250 of them. What would you say for, like, Colchester's a very family-friendly club too, like a youngster that's maybe in there, sort of starting their career, they want to stand out a little bit and try and make it as a footballer. What would you sort of say? Bit of advice for us.
I think first and foremost, you know, football is the best game in the world. So you have to find your love for it. I get asked a lot by coaches any advice, and my only advice to the coaches is to make it as fun as possible, to get the children enjoying it, because once they enjoy it and then you find the love for the game, then you have them in the palm of the hand, and then you can start to develop them technically, tactically, physically, and obviously mentally. But for the young player, yeah, just to find their enjoyment, to find their love, and then just to keep practicing, keep trying to practice, repetition, keep trying to get better, work on watch all the best players in the world, and they all do the basics incredibly well. As a consequence, they're able to play at such a consistency. Yeah, really, and for Nicky and I would be lucky enough to managing 8 of the top 9 divisions, and everyone always asks us what's the difference between the player in Tier 9 and the player in Tier 2 and the Championship, and I suppose of course sometimes the speed that they can perform at, and the speed that they can execute at, but really just the consistency of their action. at the championship is just so significant. And that only comes through repetition.
Practice the basics, do the basics right.
Yeah, of course. But firstly, you have to find your love for the game, and always to be authentic, to be yourself. I always think the best players have real personality, so it's always to sometimes we in this country we try to coach the players. And we always focus on what they can't do, and sometimes actually tend to focus on what you can do and what you're really good at, and try to avoid maybe the things you can't do.
That's awesome. So going into the season, so we are a couple of weeks away from the start. Is there sort of any areas on the pitch where you're still looking that you want to bring someone in on, or is it? Are you sort of looking at a lot of the younger players now have started to come through a lot more, like some match to laugh, are they going to play a bit more of a part this season, or is there still?
We hope so. We have some really good young players at the club, and this for us is really exciting. You look at the growth of boys like Oscar Form last year, Chloe Slisby towards the back end of the season. I think it will be a breakthrough season for Milton on. If had the injury that he had, he's recovering well, which is just brilliant. And with the young players, it's always for us to find the right stepping stone for them, because our job is to set them up to have success. So whether that be at first team level, or whether that be they have to go out on loan to build the experience and the competence, we just try to make good decisions for them really. And I think with regards to the group, we're still trying to add to it. We're not quite where we want to be, but we're probably waiting for the window to unfold so that we can get better value for the money that we have available.
Awesome, Danny. Appreciate it so much. It's been an absolute brilliant day. The weather hasn't been on our side, but everywhere you look, there's been smiles on people's faces.
I agree.
But that's it, guys. Another open day done and dusted. A big thank you to Danny, to Nicky and to John for taking some time out of their busy day to have a chat with me. If you like what you've seen in today's video, make sure you go down below and you hit the like button, and you also subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you're notified when I upload next. But that's it for today, guys, and as always, remember, up the use.